Hi guys, so today we're gonna do a neck and shoulders workout. If you don't have a massage gun, you can use a little ball to be able to do similar positions of rolling and mobility. So I'm gonna do the TheraBand gun or the massage gun Hypervolt. So I'm going to do the left shoulder to release off. So we're not trying to press too hard into this shoulder, we're trying to release off here. So we're going lightly going up and down. So this is what I do to help with recovery of shoulders and to help with recovery of my neck. And this is also a great recovery for handstands or sitting in the office. Now we're staying in the meaty section here. You're moving up and down the shoulder area. You can head towards the traps a little bit. Now, if you don't have a massage gun, you can roll a little ball in this as well and get the same benefit, which is what I do when I travel or I don't have my gun on me. So this is just an alternative if you don't have access to self-massage and you have a gun, and this helps a lot to recover. So from here, you can also move towards the back and front of your body rather than along. If I feel something that is grabbing, I can actually press a little bit longer onto here and release off, okay? So this helps me to get a little bit of tension released when I stay on it, okay? So remember here, we're not pressing too hard, we're not making more pain, we're releasing tension. So you've got to have your breath in this. If your breath isn't in this, then you lose that connection between your mind and your body, which relaxes. So we're going to take it onto the other side, okay? And this side for me is a little bit more sensitive. So I'm going, at the moment, I'm going on the meaty section down towards the shoulder and up. You can go towards the clavicle, but not on the clavicle. You want to stay in the meaty part, and you can go a little bit back. So I notice a sticky point here, for example. I'm going to push in just a little bit, not too hard, and I'm holding, breathing into it a few breaths, then I'm releasing, okay? So this helps, again, if you work in an office, if you're doing sport, if you've got shoulder tension, wrist tension, elbow tension, neck tension, all of these things are impacted and can be released by doing self-massage, all right? Now you can change the direction, going up and back. And you're searching for a little bit of a hotspot. I've heard some people call those hotspots gummy bears, which is a very cool name. So if you find a gummy bear, whatever flavor you want it to be, what's your favorite gummy bear? Then stay on that gummy bear for a few breaths and then release. All right. So remember, you're going up towards the top of your neck, down towards the shoulders. Okay. Now, as you're going to your shoulders, you can head up towards the neck here and up towards your head. There is a muscle that is quite large here. You can see this here, and I'm going behind it to get in towards the scalings a little bit, but very gently. Okay, so you can do that up on the neck, but I prefer to use a ball when I'm doing that. So now I'm going to come into the pec muscles. The pec muscles and the pec minor can often cause a lot of stress on your neck and shoulders. So I like to go just under the subscapular, which gives you a lovely funny voice. And this is a area that is just under the clavicle here. And you go along that area to start to release off any tension and to get a cool voice. It can make you cough a little bit. So if you're feeling like you are wanting to cough a little, that's okay. So you can bring your arm back and down. All right, you can bring your arm up, and you can try to open it and bend it. You can give a little bit more intensity and stretching, okay? You can come a little bit more towards the actual joint as well and coming down underneath a little bit. This helps to get towards the pec minor, which is quite deep. And using your arm to move, you can find tension and then hold there to release off that tension, okay? So again, these are tutorials that I actually put on the YouTube channel, which is linked in my bio to see it. And it's all free content for you guys if you want to use it to help you with your practice, recovery, handstands, core, workouts, all of those things. So this is exactly what I would film. I might even put this one on the YouTube for you guys to follow. And remember, the great thing about YouTube is that it's all for free and you can use it any time of day, 24/7 access. Now remember, as you do all of this, you don't want to go on any meaty muscle because the bone isn't very comfortable to press on and it's not going to give you really any benefit at all, okay? So remember, if you find a sticky spot, stay on it. And you can also move into your arm work by changing it and coming down into the joint area. This gets into the pec minor. This is a really important part that is actually very impactful, the pec minor, to any of your upper body work and often gets tight. So now that we have prepped the muscles and woken them up, that's what I'm trying to say, I need to wake up myself. So we're going to now sit down and do a little bit of mobility work, okay? So we're going to think about mobility work for our neck first. So we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to take the left ear towards the left shoulder here. You're going to pull the other shoulder down and you're going to bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Now these seem like simple moves, but they make a huge difference to you if you are finding that you're having issues in the top upper area of your body, shoulders, your neck, your chest, your elbows, and so on. So then bring your head down and up. We were in no rush and we're not pushing through pain. Back to center, coming to the left ear. Now if you have, like me, where the first rib tends to raise, and this means that you don't get a great stretch, you can place a band here on the opposite shoulder, and this will keep the left rib, the top rib, the first rib in place when you stretch. So sometimes I also like to place my hand here to pull down when I don't have a band, because actually a lot of times people have issues with their first rib that is actually head down, moving as they stretch, and that can also cause issues in the neck. And up. So now we're going to think about rounding the mid back area and opening, right? And opening the chest, but these ribs, suck them back in. So rounding them and opening. You can lift your head, so rounding, you can bring your head into it and opening. Rounding. Maybe those elbows say clap clap and opening. Shoulders down and back, ribs in as you bring your head up. Rounding, head comes down, opening. And this is a very important part of practice that we can often miss, and it helps us to recover, it helps us to actually feel better in our bodies, helps us to prevent injuries, and can be done in a few small minutes a day. So remember that you not only want to work out, but you also want to do recovery work as well, mobility work. So from here, you're going to bring your hands out, you're going to bring them back, you're going to open them up into a 90 degrees position, but pull your ribs in, actively press your fists back, and then bring them back down and pushing them forward. So pulling, squeezing. So you're actively pressing without doing this. You've got your ribs and everything in, and then pulling back, keeping those ribs in, squeezing, and then pulling back. So actively pushing back, pressing those fists back, pressing back, ribs in. So when you pull, really use your muscles. So we're actually activating. So keep that back neutral. Last one. All right, so the great thing about all of this, it's very simple to do, okay, and very functional to do. You could do this even sitting at your office, some of these mobility work when you're feeling it. So now we're going to do circles. We're going to go one way then the other. Again, always keep your ribs in, okay, wrapping as your elbows go back, your chest opens, rib stays closed, and your shoulder blades go in and down to your spine. How big can you go with these circles? And don't forget to breathe as you're doing this. One more this direction. And switch. Beautiful. Inhaling and exhaling. And you're opening the chest as you come back and rounding as your chest comes forward. Last one. And release. Beautiful. All right. So this is the mobility work that I like to do that takes care of my neck and my shoulders. And it helps me to also keep my neck and shoulders healthy. And one of the things I have learnt with my practice is that I need to make sure that I am doing more mobility work. And I use that to actually work into stretching. So I start with self-massage to warm up the muscles, and then I go into stretching to be able to open the muscles more soundly whilst they're warm and the blood is flowing. And I just wanted to share this with you in hope that for some of you that may need it. Now, as I said, that a lot of us don't actually have massage guns. So in that case, what you can do is you can grab a ball like this. Where the subscapular is here, you can roll the ball up and back through this muscle. So you have the same as the massage gun going on it, and you're rolling it up and back. And you can do that around 10 times, okay? And this is going to get the same sense of massage as you would with the gun in a way that you can when you don't have a gun. Now, the other option is also when you are wanting to massage through the pec, you can go onto a wall, make sure there's an opening on this side if your arm is on this side, and you can roll up and down here 10 times. Nice and slow and controlled. If you get a sticky spot, stay there. And you can move your arm up and down the wall as you're rolling. So the wall, the more you lean into it, the more pressure you're going to get on that wall, right? And that is going to release off here in your pectoral area, okay? Now from there, you can also place your hand behind you, squeeze your shoulder blade back, keep your ribs in, rolling up and down. If you want to get into the pec minor, which is kind of a little bit difficult because it's kind of in and under, right? And so with that, what you can do is you can put a block on the wall. Now we put a block on the wall because otherwise we just squish our face into the wall, which is all good laughs, but it doesn't get really an effective stretch and it's quite awkward. So you put a block on the wall here, and then you place the ball here, and the block pushes into the ball and the wall is here. And then from there, you're able to have that pressure with a little bit of space from the wall. You're able to squeeze the shoulders back, and you'll be able to move around here underneath and be able to get a nice stretch into that pec minor area. Self-massage. And you must make sure that your shoulders are coming back to really open up into it. That's really important. So a lot of times we are tight in our pectoral muscles and we are rounded, and we need to also address that rounding of our posture by squeezing our shoulders back. So this is going to be able to do that massage there. For example, even without the wall and the block and just moving my arm, I can feel the pressure points of my pec minor that need to be released, which I will do as well again when I need to do that. Now, to stretch it, if you imagine that you are my wall, I'm going to have my hand here and into my elbow, into my side. I'm going to pull my ribs in, and I'm going to put my hand facing down. I'm going to drop my shoulder back here. I can already feel the stretch without even the wall. So my hand would be on the wall, which is you as the screen. And then from there, all I'm going to do is going to slowly rotate out using the pressure of the wall. And I'm going to feel a beautiful stretch down here and through here to stretch my pec minor area, okay? And to stretch your pectoral area, you can come up tall to the wall, and you have this movement, and you can raise your arm up and down, and you can get a stretch there. If you want to add a little bit of nerve tension because you're feeling like your nerve is causing restriction, you add this movement to your wrist by placing your arm on the wall here, and your wrist is in this position to be able to stretch the nerve. Then you pull away from the wall here, and from there you drop your knees down and you come down into a squat and back up, and then you rotate out and you do that a few times. So each stretch is held for around, let's say 10 seconds minimum 3 times to 20 seconds 3 times, up to a minute to 2 minutes. So really ideally a minimum of 30 seconds to really get any reaction from it. And with regards to massaging here, so I actually like to also massage my scalings. So we have the lovely big neck muscle here, okay? And behind here, if you turn away, you can see the neck muscle behind here. If you put your hands in here, you've got your scalings. Now, I usually like to place a ball in there and roll around gently. And this helps me to release off in my scalings. Now, once I have felt like there is a release, I like to hold the ball there, and I like to do a pressure point stretch very gently and pull away. Now, some of you, if you have nerve tension, will feel the nerve running down your arms, so be very gentle. So for example, if you have thoracic outlet syndrome, generally the nerves get pressed in the neck and it runs down your arm and into your thumb and forearm and bicep, and can cause a lot of pain and weakness in your arm. But this is a great way to gently myofascial release this area. You want to push the scalings back here, pushing the scalings back and away from your large neck muscle here, sternocleidomastoid, okay? You want to push it away here and get in and under. You could also use your fingers. Once you've got your hand in there, you can push back and push back, okay? And that's releasing off the scalings. And then from there, you can do a small self-massage and then doing the stretch. Make sure your shoulders down and back, and breathe and hold for maybe 10 to 20 seconds, release off, come back, hold for 10 to 20 seconds, release off, come back. You can also massage up here right near the neck, and you're just rolling your hands down or knuckling it all the way down to your clavicle, and doing that 3 or 4 times to release off any tension as well, okay? So these are all small things you can do at home with your neck. And then you've got, if you still, again, don't have the massage gun, you've got your trapezius and levator scalp all the way up here. So we can massage that out as well. And you've got your rhomboids in between your shoulder blade and your spine. So the options there for these ones, right, is placing, starting here, here's the bony part of your neck, and then rolling slightly out, and you're placing the ball there. And you're starting there, and you're going to lie on down here, and you're going to come on that, and you're going to roll around and find a sensitive spot, right? And you're going to stay there for a while and hold it. You might move your arm around and so on and so forth, and stay on that for a good 2 minutes, moving to different places. You do both sides, and then you're going to come down and you're going to place it in between the shoulder blade area here. Don't worry if you can't reach down this far, that's fine. You can just put the ball down and roll into this. I'm just trying to show you the spot. So you place the ball in here, so you just simply place the ball down. It's not really simply, it does tend to roll away a bit from you. You're going to bring your arm here, up, and from here you're going to find that sensitive spot. You will know it, and you can bring your arm across and back. Across and back. You could also do small sit-ups, curling in, opening your shoulders up with your elbows coming in, coming down, opening your shoulders up. Then finding a new spot and coming up. And so this is a great self-massage that you can do to release off with the TheraBand, to do mobility work, and also to be able to release off if you don't have a TheraBand with a ball. So I hope you enjoyed this and I hope this helps you a little bit. So again, this is what exercises I like to do for my neck, for my shoulders, for my recovery, for my warm-up before I do stretching, for any types of preventative measures for injuries, and so on and so forth. So